Hey guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video I'm doing the Sydney vs Carlton round 10 game, going through fantasy wise this game. And yeah, Sydney just after quarter time just absolutely smoked Carlton in the end. And yeah, it was basically just Heaney and Chad Warner, which Chad Warner probably won the battle for the 3 votes after about half time. Especially in the third quarter, I think Heaney had 2 goals, 7 score involvements out of 7 possessions. Chad Warner had 2 goals and 5 score involvements out of 9 possessions. They both just were on fire, and Heaney could have ended up with like 4 or even 5 goals. That's how good he was. Chad Warner probably almost the same as well. I think Chad Warner kicked 3 goals, 2. Heaney 3 goals, 1. And then you just had the tackling machine in Rowbottom. But I mean, Carlton did get away to a really good start, and once it took basically getting on top of Walsh and also just getting our hands on the footy, to be honest, to get back into this game. And then second, third and fourth quarter, we sort of did take advantage of that and run away with the game, as we ended up winning by, 52 points in the end. But anyway, before we jump into this video, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload, and let's get into this recap. So here we go, Heaney 125, top scorer for the game in fantasy. I know he wasn't top scorer in the Supercoach, as I'm pretty sure Chad ended up with like a 170 or something ridiculous. But yeah, he was just outstanding. And yeah, just looking at the quarters here, first quarter, it was 33-24. Second quarter, it was 26-3. Third quarter, it was 46-15. And then the last quarter as well, it was 3 goals, 21-14. So it was just the first sort of 10 minutes where Carlton just started to go away with the game. Let me just see here. Just trying to find the last Carlton goal before that run. 14-minute mark of the first quarter. It was 27-1, I believe. I believe. And then Taylor Adams got a behind. McDonald got a behind. Hayward got a goal. Then Sam Walsh got a goal. James Jordan got a goal, Papley got a goal, Warner behind, Papley behind, and Chad Warner another behind, and that was quarter time, and that got it back to the 9-point margin. And you were sitting there as a Swans fan going, for all of that sort of 15 to 20 minutes of dominance from the Blues, absolute dominance, to be down like 9 points, I was pretty happy about that, given that we knew Carlton were a fast starting side. So yeah, Heaney was immense. Not the best disposal efficiency by him. I believe it was somewhere, and I can actually fan footy. I can bring this up here and I'll show you what it was. I usually should actually do this. Isaac Heaney 70%, but 6 clangers here. You'll see Chad Warner 172 in Supercoach. So whoever's got hit, the winner of the week's going to have Chad Warner, probably VC or something like that. But yeah, Isaac Heaney a 121 and a 125 in Supercoach/DT. So yeah, he was really good and immense. James Rowbottom 16 tackles, was on tackle watch going into the second half for the record, as he was on 12 at half time or something. And I think he started the last quarter needing 6 or something like that. Got a tackle taken away. So I think he had 2 in the last quarter, if I just bring up the stats here for Rowbottom. Had a tackle here, then taken away, and then 1 taken away. So yeah, he got a lot of tackles taken away from him. He was tackling that much. So yeah, if you count all that, they probably had to input 20 odd tackles, but he actually only ended up with 16, as I think he had something like 4 tackles taken away from him. But he was absolutely immense, and that's what you sort of get out of Rowbottom. If you can get a 20 and 10 tackle, 20 disposal, 10 tackle night out of Rowbottom, he's done his work. And he also chipped in with a goal late to get the chocolates. I mean, 19 disposals, 2 marks, 16 tackles, and a goal. It's just an immense night from him. And honestly, I think he probably deserves the 1 vote in this game. Even though you had Errol with 28 touches and 10 marks, I just think James Rowbottom, with the tackling presence he got, as well as kicking that late goal, even though the game was dead, I think he probably deserves the 1 vote. I think Warner's going to get the 3 for his 28 and 3, compared to Heaney's 24, 8 tackles and 3. I think Chad Warner was just palming everyone off, and wouldn't be surprised if he got close to the broken tackle record that they were referencing when Harley Reid did it a couple weeks back. So Chad Warner was immense. Errol Gordon to 116, no quiet 116. I think getting those marks up really does sort of show, but he was woeful by sort of foot in the first half, I guess. as this was a really scrappy game. You'll see a lot of clangers here, especially for Carlton as well. But yeah, so Errol wasn't the best efficiency-wise, but I mean, when you've got Chad Warner doing the exact opposite and being really efficient and just blowing the game open, Errol didn't really have to do much, and Errol's more... He's not really getting the contested possessions anymore, which is probably a good thing, and getting the ball on the outside. So hopefully he can next week have a really good efficiency as they play the Bulldogs. Hopefully he gets more space on the wing and can go to work. Brodie Grundy at 105 thought he won the matchup pretty comfortably against the double rucks. It was really weird what they did. They didn't really have Tom de Koning doing much ruck work, which was really surprising. And I thought Pitnet did get away with quite a lot in the ruck. A lot of just hand checking sort of, and then he'd get a free kick for blocking, and you're just like, he just got held in that contest. So, but anyway, I think Brodie Grundy really showed an asset that has been missing for the Swans with 7 clearances, 15 contested possessions. He would have got, I don't know exactly what it was. I can actually just check this AFL.com. We'll go to here, and it's just in my stats here, and you'll see the, here we go. Hit outs to advantage, only 6 hit outs to advantage at 18%. Pitnet was 7 at 41%, and Mackay got 1 hit out to advantage. But yeah, he's just getting those hit outs to advantage. I don't think Tom Hickey was getting even 6 a game from memory. So yeah, Brodie Grundy has really started to impact the Swans in a positive way. McLean did his work as well, 98 and 94. 18 disposals for him, as well as 6 marks, 6 hit outs, and 2 goals. When he's kicking 2 and having 15 disposals, that's when you know you're getting the best out of him. Jake Lloyd, a quietish night off half back. Yeah, he's just doing his job, and almost had a goal as well. No, that was last game. No, sorry, he had a mark on the siren or something like that, or a free kick on the siren in the first, and couldn't even get it through from 40 metres out, just showing his range. James Jordan, probably one of the stars of the night with a goal, and he absolutely put the clamps on Sammy Walsh, especially when Sammy Walsh had 20 touches in general, which sounds like he didn't have the worst day, Sammy Walsh, but he got 5 of those touches in the first about 5 minutes, and yeah, and then it was basically nothing. And then I'm pretty sure he had quite a few, not marks, but quite a few possessions in the last quarter when they sort of just let the tag come off a little bit. Let me just see here. Where is he? He had 6 touches in the last quarter. So yeah, he had 4 in the third, and he wasn't that impactful throughout the game. Didn't have the marks or the tackles, and yeah, so he was just sort of not really there. Had a couple of free kicks against, which didn't help his, but still having an 85 here is pretty good. The 7 clangers probably didn't help. He probably could have even had a 100 game if he just didn't have the 7 clangers, which would have been helpful for Supercoach. But anyway, so yeah, James Jordan, another one that could actually sneak in the votes as well, given his job on Walsh. Probably should get through this quicker. Hayward as well, 1 goal here. He just didn't really have to do the work as the midfielders chipped in with all the goals. But yeah, I thought he was pretty good as well. A marking target there, which generally isn't sort of the way he goes, but he also applied the pressure, I believe, with 19 pressure acts, which is above his average at the moment of 15. So he's doing his work there. Taylor Adams was prolific again, 11 contested possessions. He just sort of nonchalantly does his job, basically. It's as simple as that, and it's really good that in case a midfielder goes down, you just have a ready-made midfielder in Taylor Adams that can go in there for the rest of the game, and you can obviously just swing a winger or a half-backer up to wing, and a winger such as like McInerney to half-forward or something like that. The versatility of the Swans means that if a guy goes down, it's just a simple changes around, and even the sub with Braden Campbell can just go onto the wing, etc. So they have so much versatility there that hiding Adams as a half forward that goes on ball once it's out of the CBA is just really, no one really notices the work that he does. Papley, I thought he's kicking back into gear. He's not 100%, but he's kicking back into gear. 2 goals, 3, so it was a little bit wayward, but I mean, he was so close to kicking I think he also had one as well. A couple of his misses were a couple of snaps as well that were really close. So he could have easily on another day ended 4 goals, 1 and really just broken the game open. Cunningham, he did sit, who was always on his butt, and then ran 60 metres and kicked a goal, which was quite fun to watch. I think that was in the last. So that was when the game was just sort of needed the cherry on top. That was what it was. McInerney, a quietish game for him, but he just did what he needed to do, basically. Florent as well, another quiet game with the half-backers. You had a quiet game because it was just the midfielders just running through here. And they didn't really have the kick-to-kick that we've seen in the past, as that didn't really come till like late on in the game, and it was sort of Errol Gordon that did profit from that. Blakey did have 5 marks, but yeah, he didn't have too many. We've seen in the past these two, sort of Blakey and Florent combined. Sorry, Blakey had 2 marks here. It was Logan McDonald with 5. We've seen in the past that Blakey and Florent can combine for 15 plus marks, and they just didn't this week as it wasn't required. Sammy Wicks had a goal out of a centre, out of a CBA that just went through about 5 Swans fans, and then he ended up with a goal from a shot from 40 out straight in front, which was good to see. He had a better game pressure-wise. Would have liked to have seen more tackle. 0 tackles is a little bit of a worry, but with the Swans now, with Parky getting, I think it's 4 or 5 for that hit, even though it was a shoulder-to-shoulder and a head clash that caused the broken cheekbone to the Frankstown player. I think that he's got multiple weeks on the sideline for that. That probably means that Wicks is completely safe now, as he's basically battling with Constantine, who I believe, if I just quickly go over to the VFL stats, I'm pretty sure Constantine just put up a singular goal in around 10 possessions, which is roughly around the same stats as the likes of Wicks. If we just go here, where's Constantine? Where is he? Constantine, 2 goals, 16 touches, so he is pushing him slightly, but I think we want to see more of those types of performances out of Constantine before we say, oh yeah, Wicks can have a spell in the 2s. I think another potentially 2 more weeks in the VFL for Constantine, and after the bye he could potentially challenge Wicks if he's putting up 2 goals and 16 touches with 5 tackles. That could be the way, but at the moment I think Wicks holds that. Rampy, quiet-ish, but did his job. Francis looks so out of touch, and the amount of times that the likes of Mackay would take a mark and Francis a metre behind would just try and swat the ball. It was quite funny. He's just not... You just want to make the game as simple as possible for Francis, and that is either punch, take a mark, like spoil, take a mark, kick it sideways or kick it long is basically what Francis should just do. Amati, a little bit quiet, but 2 goals for him. He's not really one that's going to impact the contest outside of taking grabs and kicking goals. So 2 goals, 1 for him out of 8 disposals is very impactful. Fox got injured AC joint 2 to 3 weeks, and that's why we expect Roberts to potentially come into the side, or Campbell to get a full game. And then it could look like Gus or Mitchell, Angus Sheldrick or Mitchell get the sub role, as they want to sort of try and even out the amount of games that guys get. And I don't think Roberts deserves to sit in the sub role, so him or Campbell need to get full games, and that could be through one of them being in the VFL and one of them being in the AFL, and then one of the guys that's been playing full-time in the VFL gets some sub-time in the AFL. And then Melican did his job, honestly. Then we move over to Carlton after 13 minutes of the Swans recap. Nick Newman basically was unchecked, and it didn't really matter because he was going at 100% for like 10 disposals or something like that, and it literally didn't matter. As, I mean, a lot of it was the Swans kick-out, so I wouldn't be surprised if he had, and I will check this through the AFL app here with Nick Newman. I wouldn't be surprised if he ended up with 10 kick-outs or something. 7 kick-outs, 7 play-ons. So that's 21 points there, and probably I would suggest 25 or so Supercoach points just from that. Kennedy I thought was pretty good, but I'm just worried that his role just basically vanishes in a couple of weeks, potentially has a bad game or something like that, or even gets subbed out of games, as Wiedering was subbed out in this game, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was someone like a Hewitt or a Kennedy that gets subbed out in games, as they did have Carroll lined up for it, and I think Carroll would have come on for a midfielder, to be honest. Mackay, 93, he had the lucky matchup of Francis, and I did think that he did pretty good work with the 5 tackles there. Akers, 91, didn't turn the ball over that much this week, only 2 clangers rather than like the 10 or whatever that he had last week, a couple of weeks ago. Cripps really got, just after quarter time, basically, I think Heaney got on top of Cripps. I think Cripps was pretty prolific early from memory. What was he? He had 6 touches in the first quarter, Cripper, and then in the second after halftime he was basically non-existent. He had 15 in the first half, and then after halftime only 9 touches. And if I go to Cripps's profile here, Yeah, 3 touches in the third with 1 mark, 1 tackle, and then 6 in the last with a mark. So basically all his work came in the first half. Kerno basically had to go back at points in the second half when Wiedering went down, but he's not fancy relevant. Pitnet, a 99, Supercoach 79, not fancy relevant, I don't think. Boyd, I thought had a really good game, but but I don't think he's going to have much relevance, as I think he's already sort of out of that rookie range. Now, Kemp, McGovern, Hollands, Walsh just got tagged, and an 85 for him in Supercoach when he got tagged by the best tagger in the game at the moment is pretty actually decent. Williams, 62-61 split, got a goal as well. Thought he was negligible, to be honest. George Hewitt, 61 and 50, got a goal late as well just to pick that up, but yeah, didn't impact it. Ollie Hollands, Owies, Carroll, Fantasia, Marchbank, Wiedering, Chincotta, Tom de Koning and Durden. You can just sort of see the problem with the Carlton at the moment is that when they don't fire, these sort of names of Hollands, Owies, Carroll, Fantasia, Marchbank, Chincotta, de Koning, not even de Koning, just Durden. So sort of you can see there's sort of 6 or 7 names there that when they don't fire, and Carlton usually lose, these guys don't really have much of an impact, and I think that's the worry for Carlton. Whereas the Swans, when they don't fire, when they're winning games, they had guys like Ollie Florent, Blakey, McDonald kicked 0 goals too. He could have easily kicked a couple of goals there. Anyway, Rampy, who usually is impactful. These guys that are actually down the bottom here actually impact games, but you don't usually actually see it. Like Amadi kicked 2 goals, 1 here. And you can just see the sort of difference there. Amadi would be up here, I think, or whatnot. Yeah, I just think that they're a lot more impactful, the guys down here, rather than the Carlton guys down the bottom of the list. And I guess that's what happens when you sort of win a game. Your general floor guys are a lot better. But I should probably wrap this video up as it's gone for a while. But anyway, that is the video. I did go a little bit cheapish on the Carlton guys as they did lose and get beaten pretty comprehensively in the end. But they did come off to a really good start. They were 27-1 up, and then after basically that spurt there, it was 116-38, I believe, which is just a spin that shouldn't be happening, honestly. But so Carlton will probably look at that and wonder what was the problem there and why did it go wrong. But yeah, the Swans just dominant again. 32 scoring shots, one of the best offensive side, the best defensive side in the comp, and they're just dismantling teams with McCartan and Mills, who are best 22 players out of their side. So anyway, that is the video, and I'll see you guys in the Saturday recaps tomorrow. Bye, guys.